Steve Beverly with you live on Worthy Road Studios as Worthy Road and BallGame Blitz Sports Network proudly presents Union University Baseball right here on the UUathletics.com and Union University Network. We're glad to have all of you aboard. For those of you watching from down Montevallo way, it's good to have you with us. We've got a good crowd of some of your folks here, including some of them who have brought their canine friends with them. I got to visit with them between games. You got some really nice folks who have come up from North Alabama, and glad to have you with us here. Montevallo won the first game 8-3. This is a crucial one for Union because they are now 2.5 games behind Shorter for what would be the final number 8 spot in the Gulf South Conference baseball tournament next weekend. They have their final 3 conference games. They are all on the road at Alabama Huntsville. And so it'll be a single game on Friday and then Saturday a doubleheader. So every single one of these are critical for whether there will be postseason in the Bulldogs' future. Montevallo is still hanging pretty close into the number 6 spot in the conference, and that victory that they just had in the opener helped them out greatly. And we're about to start this afternoon's second game, and it is Connor Croson, the third baseman, who opens it up. And the pitch is up high. Pitching for Union is senior Sam Poindexter, who we saw recognized in the senior day activities. And Sam delivers the 1-0, and it hits the corner for strike one. Ball and a strike. Taking his time between pitches, and he delivers. And there's a liner to third, about a 3-roller, and goes to first for out number 1. So Union getting off to a good start. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Evan Liddy. Shortstop Ethan Huddleston would be next. And Evan had a solid game in the opener. He was 2 for 4 and had 2 RBIs. And that's in there for a strike. And again, taking a long time between pitches. The wind, and the left-hander delivers, and it's up high for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Still got a good crowd of fans here for the second game. And that one is sliced. It is going foul beyond the bullpen. So it's a ball and 2 strikes. Temperature has risen a bit to 64 degrees, but we still have a pretty whipping wind coming in out of center field. It is not going to carry balls out of the ballpark today. And there is one that he got around on too quickly and went to the opposite bullpen, so we stay at 1-2. Bulldogs will be on the road all next week. They'll be Tuesday for a single game at Arkansas Tech in a non-conference game. Here's the wind and the 1-2. And that one is going to bend foul. Hasn't been able to straighten them out yet. And let's see what he delivers with the 1-2. And that one is a slow roller to the second baseman. Fires quickly to first. So it's 2 up, 2 down. And that brings up Ethan Huddleston. Ethan, the shortstop.
Now batting the shortstop, number 5, Ethan Huddleston.
And in the opening game, Ethan was 0 for 4, but he walked and scored a run. And that one's low for a ball. Bulldogs led 1-0 in the opener until we got to the fourth inning, and that's where a 4 spot for Montevallo really opened up things in a different way, and they asked for help, and the first base umpire says he did go around on it, so it's a ball and a strike. The wind and the 1-1. And that one's inside for ball 2. Bulldogs struggled a bit with walks. They walked 9 batters and hit 5 in the opening game, and that one is going to be low. 3 balls and a strike. So here comes the 3-1 from Poindexter. And he goes to first with a walk. Nope. They called it a strike. They said he went around on it. The home plate umpire was going to send him down to first, but the appeal to first, and they said, yeah, he did go around on that one. So it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. And here is a big payoff pitch, and Union would love to get him 1-2-3 here in the first. And that one is going to be a 2-hopper that goes through the middle into center field for a base hit. So Huddleston gets on with the first hit of the game, and now that brings up the cleanup hitter, Logan Harbin, the first baseman. And in the opener, he was a big stick in the opener because he ended up being 3 for 4 and had 2 two-run singles with 2 outs. And that was huge for Montevallo. Looking the runner at first, and it gets away from the catcher, and so he goes down to second and gets into scoring position. So Huddleston down now at second. Harbin, the first baseman. Again, just a solid hitter in that opener. And you talk about hitting in the clutch. That's what he delivered with it. 2 balls and no strikes. And taking a modest lead down at second is Huddleston. Good fastball, but it was up high. 3-0. And the designated hitter, Landon Leake, would be next. Looks it back to second, and the wind and the pitch is up high, and so he has put another one on. So Harbin trots down to first base, and here comes Leake with 2 on. And the DH will see if he can start some early damage for Montevallo. He would be followed by Brandon Moore, the left fielder. And again, looks back the runner to second. And that one's in on the inside corner for strike 1. Union has a couple of changes in their roster for this second game, and we'll tell you about those when they come up to the plate. And the pitch. Just outside. 2 down here in the top half of the first inning. This one will be a 7-inning affair. First game went 2 hours and 46 minutes, and then we had senior day activities. And I hope you had a chance to catch those. And the pitch, that one's in there. Nice floating curve, went left to right, and it is 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. And Poindexter gets ready to deliver to Leake. Just low. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. Very deliberate pitcher is Poindexter. And Sam getting ready to deliver, but taking a long look at second. And that one off the glove of the pitcher, and that's probably going to score a run. Coming around to score is Huddleston with the first run of the game, and he timed that pitch perfectly and hit it just over the glove of the pitcher, and it went on into center field for a base hit. So a run and 2 hits here in the opening inning as Leake delivers, and here is Brandon Moore, the left fielder. He would be followed by Daniel Irizarry. And again, still with runners at first and second, outside for a ball. And the wind and the pitch. That one's fouled way off to the right. That almost went into one of the trees that is blowing pretty hard right now. I am glad I got the fleece jacket in here today because you begin to feel a little chill here even though it's April 20th. 2 balls and a strike. That's one thing about West Tennessee weather. You can never count on it to be conventional. And so many of us look forward to this time of year that you begin to finally enjoy taking long walks out in the warmth, and it's not there, and that one's up high for ball 3. And the last 2 days, it's gone back in the other direction. Spring has unsprung for us here. The 3-1 pitch. High fly ball, about 2 miles in the air, and the center fielder doesn't have to go far at all. Took about 1 step to his right for out number 3 as Davis snags it. So, 1 run on 2 hits, 1 walk, no errors, and 2 men left on base. So after a half inning of play, it is Montevallo 1 and Union just now coming into bat.
Are you looking for a Christian college or are starting the college search process? I want to take a second to tell you about my school, Union University in Jackson, Tennessee. Union is a private 4-year university known for its rigorous academics, Christ-centered community, and the success of its graduates. My favorite part about Union is the faculty. The professors here are so intentional about helping students grow not only academically, but also spiritually. You should check out Union for yourself. Come for a visit. I know you'll love it. At Union University, you'll be transformed.
Warm-up tosses is the right-hander Logan Samuels, and he'll be on the mound here to start with for Montevallo. Falcons going for a sweep. Union trying to take it 2 out of 3 for the weekend. The Bulldogs won 1 in a thriller last night, and particularly trying to get into that Gulf South Conference tournament, and you have to claw your way into it. And that's what they're hoping to do here with this game and then with the road trip that they have next week. Yeah. And I got news for you, folks. If you think things are going to get better weather-wise as far as temperature-wise, tomorrow's not going to be much better. We're going to have a high of 61 here in Jackson tomorrow and a low of 37. Now, that does happen in April around here, but it is going to be another chiller. And standing in at the plate, the designated hitter, Will Allen Smith, sophomore in the lineup here in the second game, and he lines one that is going to drop in for a base hit, just hit inside the line. So Will Allen, one pitch, one hit. And that will bring up Carson Chavies, the right fielder, the junior. And this is where Union wants to try to get an early batch put together here, and that was a good start to it with Will Allen. Samuels delivers, and there's a bunt. That's a good one. He's going to toss it over to first. He almost beat it out, but moving the runner over to second, Will Allen Smith is on in scoring position with one out. And that brings up Grant Ross, the first baseman, and he'll be followed by Mitch Sisk, the third baseman, in the cleanup spot. Grant batting left-handed. Not a lot of gap between the first and second baseman, a lot of gap between the second baseman and shortstop. If he could drive that thing right up the middle, we would potentially have a tie game. Samuels taking his time and looking at the runner at second, and the pitch. And that one did just exactly what the fans wanted. He hit it right up the middle, and that will bring home the tying run. Oh, my goodness, a collision. He is safe, and the runner is going to move up to second. That was I got to tell you, that was a shoulder-to-shoulder hit. He was easily going to make it in, but the catcher was in the way there, and so they had a nice collision. But Will Allen comes home with the tying run, and Union with only one out, and so that sacrifice initially was a solid one. They're going to come out and just take a look at the catcher, Evan Kirk, to make sure he's okay, because he took a blow to the shoulder. So Grant Ross is going to be up to the plate after they take a look at him, but I think they've decided he's okay. So Union ties it up with 2 hits here in the bottom half of the first inning. And Ross tried it down to second when he saw that throw coming to the plate, so give him a single and taking second on the fielder's choice. So Mitch Sisk getting ready to stand in, the senior third baseman. And again, with a runner in scoring position, now the gap is bigger between the first baseman and second baseman. So if he could go to right field with it, it would be a solid opportunity. That's a strike. Yeah, they close that gap up that's up the middle. They're not playing him very deep in the outfield, and that's outside for ball one. And they have him played more toward a right field fly ball if it should be in that direction. Here's the pitch, and that one is going to be a slow grounder to second. The runner's going to move to third. It's high, and they still manage to tag him out. That was an excellent play by the first baseman, Harbin, to tag him before he hit the bag on that high throw, but it did succeed in moving the runner over to third. So Ross is 90 feet away from home plate, and here comes Alec Hardy, the second baseman. And here is the wind with the runner on third and the pitch. And he sliced it foul. No balls and one strike. And if Hardy gets on, Elijah Ramsey would be next. And the pitch inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And again, it's wide open up the middle if he could get a hard hit ball in that direction. And the pitch, faked it, and he went ahead with a bunt. They're going to have to hurry, and they're not going to get him. Outstanding bunt to bring the runner home. So Grant Ross comes in to score, and Hardy delivers a bunt. It looked like he might be faking the bunt, but in fact, they were expecting it, and the third baseman tried to charge it and just went past it, and so he gets in with an infield bunt hit and an RBI, and so here comes Elijah Ramsey batting left-handed. And Union gets the first inning lead at 2-1. That one hits the corner for strike one. So they've made the most of the threat they've had in this inning. Haven't had any homers today. Outside, a ball and a strike. But to get a 2-out hit here would be extraordinarily big for Ramsey. Here's the wind and the pitch. Didn't go around on it. 2 balls and a strike. Held up. The center fielder Davis would be next. Here's the wind and the pitch. And he powered that one foul that went off one of the legs of these tents over here that one by one have been vanishing. So Samuels recollects himself and delivers. And that one's just got a piece of that one, so it's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Hardy sinks back into first base. And here we go once again with another 2-2. Outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes, and that one stole that one on the catcher. Excellent job of base running by Hardy. So you've got him in scoring position with 3 balls and 2 strikes and 2 out here in the bottom half of the first inning. Here's the wind and the pitch. And he went around on it for strike 3. Clutch strikeout pitching on the part of Samuels, but the Bulldogs came up with 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and they left 1 man on base. We've completed an inning. It is Union 2, Montevallo 1.
Can I get some help?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
When you hear our name, know that it comes with a promise to give back to the community that built us. A promise to provide a human touch in a world that is becoming more automated. Ever since we put our roots down in Jackson in 1996, we have aspired to be community-focused by supporting programs and organizations that are important to our city. At First Bank, it is our mission to be present in our community and to continue the belief that when you bank local, you get more. Member FDIC.
second inning. See some fans coming in sharing a bit of latte with their families. I think some have been sent to the other end of campus to come away with that, and a little bit to keep them warm. And standing in is Daniel Irizarry. He is the right fielder. And the pitch from Poindexter. In there for a strike. He will be followed by Peyton Stevenson, the second baseman, and Evan Kirk, the catcher. And Poindexter delivers. Just up high, a ball and a strike. See a couple of Union's faculty members and a couple of about-to-be retired faculty members here. And that one inside, 2 balls and a strike. But we have some fans who have lasted through this one, the entire doubleheader, and we're glad that they have. And that one is up against the screen, so it's 2-2. And as we said in the latter part of the opening game, we've seen a few blankets, some that are the kind that you don't share with anybody. You just wrap it around yourself. Here's the pitch, and that one he got around on it too quick. 2 balls, 2 strikes. But it's been a good afternoon for baseball, even if it is windy and you feel a chill in the air. And that one caught him looking for strike 3. That's the first strikeout of the afternoon for Sam Poindexter. 1 out, and that brings up Peyton Stevenson, the second baseman. That one's fouled back up against the screen. And he decides he wants a new baseball. And he almost slid off the mound on that one for ball 1. The wind and the pitch. Up high, 2 balls and a strike. Peyton from the town of Eclectic, Alabama, which I have some friends who live there. 3 balls and a strike. He went to Elmore County High School, and that's been a place that has been a hotbed for college baseball talent in years past. And here's the pitch. Got it on the outside corner. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So we've gone full with 1 out. Poindexter had thrown 36 pitches coming into this inning and slices that one back foul against the screen. So many of these young folks that are about to hit final exam time for both of these schools, and that one is a high, lazy fly ball. Center fielder coming on fast and takes it. That's why you run wind sprints, is that Davis, he was speedy to go out there and nail that one down. 2 out. And that brings up Evan Kirk, the catcher.
Now batting the catcher, number 42, Evan Kirk.
Kirk had a good first game and Let's see what he delivers here, and that one is low for a ball. And here is his 1-0, and that's low and outside, ball 2. And we again say a salute and a special hello to all of our senior parents who have made it up. And there's a high fly ball. That's 3 miles in the air. He's going to have to wait for that to come down, but snagging it for out number 3 is Ramsey. And so no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. After an inning and a half, Bulldogs lead the Falcons 2-1.
Your life, your home,
your business, your future.
Focusing on you, West Tennessee Bank strives to serve its clients in every season of life. With vast experience in personal and business banking, we take pride in guiding you through significant events. At West Tennessee Bank, we help you realize your dreams.
West Tennessee Bank is a division of Decatur County Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. West Tennessee Bank, focused on you.
Can I get some help?
so happy. Oh.
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
Our music coordinators here are after my own heart as they are playing that great 60s hit, Build Me Up Buttercup. That's one of those that I don't know how they got into a composing room and decided on the lyrics for that, but Build Me Up Buttercup, one of my youth, and probably for some of you as well. So the Bulldogs, coming up in their half of the second inning, will send Davis, Smith, and Barrett to the plate. They picked up 2 runs on 3 hits in the first inning to go ahead of Montevallo 2-1. So this will be Logan Samuel's second inning of work.
Coming to the plate, bringing in center fielder, number 11, Colby Davis.
Colby Davis, a junior. And he can hit to all fields. And there's the pitch. And he hits one that is going to be out of play. And they gave chase on that, both the first and second baseman, one of them losing his cap, but that was way out of the range. The wind and the pitch. And that's going to go foul once again, but it's close enough this time for the first baseman, Harbin, to get underneath it and take it for out number 1. So that will bring up Ben Smith, the senior catcher. Ben awaits the first pitch, and that one, Karam's foul over to the right of our booth. We haven't had one that we wanted to yell, get the net out in here, because, and frankly, we hope we don't have to. There is a liner that is snagged by the shortstop. What a diving catch by Huddleston. And that was one of these, if he hadn't come down with that, it would have been a sure base hit. And that's what you just call right place, right time, and great dive. Here's Dylan Barrett, the shortstop. And the sophomore trying to get somebody on for the Bulldogs, and it is in there for a strike. Was an exciting finish to last night's game if you're a Bulldog fan, and so Bulldogs want to take it 2 out of 3 this weekend, but no question that Montevallo is after a sweep of the Saturday doubleheader. No balls and 2 strikes with 2 out and nobody on. And the pitch down in the dirt, a ball and 2 strikes. Both these pitchers have settled down here in the second inning, and here's the pitch again, and he went around on it for strike 3. So for Union, it was 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. We have completed 2 with the Bulldogs still on top of the Falcons, 2-1.
Dynamics Physical Therapy, your elite provider in sports medicine and performance. Now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
Legends never die, but your AC unit might. Routine maintenance and repair by McCoy's Heating and Air now will keep your system running at full capacity and potentially avoid costlier repairs and downtime when you need your AC the most. Our York certified and trained technicians are the best in the game. Go home to comfort with spring maintenance from McCoy's Heating and Air.
Ready for the top half of the third inning. Steve Beverly with you again at Fesmeyer Field. And checking in back up to the top of the order is Connor Croson, the third baseman. 0 for 1 so far in the second game of our doubleheader. And the official calls time. And whatever adjustment was made, I guess it has been, because here's the pitch. And that's in there for a strike. One thing we'll watch is Poindexter's pitch count, because he threw 46 pitches in the first 2 innings, which is a little bit more than what you would like to see, because that would put him over 100 by the 5th inning. Of course, this is a 7-inning contest as the second half of a doubleheader. So if they could get him to go 5 and maintain this lead, it would be a solid performance for him. A ball and a strike to Croson. And that one gets away. 2-1 the count. Enjoyed so much hearing those nostalgic stories that were told by the inductees into the Union University Sports Hall of Fame last night. That's my favorite part of that event every year, is listening to the memories of people, some of them whose highlights and exploits on Union's fields and courts go back nearly 60 years. There's the pitch, and it's in there for a strike. 3 balls and 2 strikes. To hear the story of a Meredith Richardson Jacobs, who talked about how she had basically accepted a scholarship at another university, and then she realized that where she wasn't supposed to be, and she virtually begged Mark Campbell. That's a high fly ball, and underneath that, taking it is the second baseman, Hardy, for out number 1. And Meredith talked about how it was really, she recognized that it was God tugging at her heart and saying, you need to be somewhere different. She'd had a number of teammates from Bradford, Tennessee, that had played basketball at Union, and so at the 11th hour, she decided this is where she wanted to come. And now with 4 children of her own, and she has a very responsible job in education, and the school district from which she came is just a marvelous young lady. A great mom, and she was certainly an outstanding athlete here. But that Hall of Fame banquet is a highlight for me every single year. One count with 1 out and nobody on. And the pitch. And that one is going to be grounded. Second baseman gets it and turns to first. What a play that you had there by Alec Hardy. Went to his left, dropped to a knee, managed to snag the ball and throw him out at first for out number 2. Excellent fielding play. And here's Huddleston, who had a hit and scored the only run back in the first inning for Montevallo, and that's in there for a strike. If he gets on, the cleanup hitter Harbin would follow him. Poindexter been very steady so far in this third inning. Little low, ball on the strike. Taking a little more time between pitches this time. And he delivers. And that one's inside. 2 balls and a strike. First game, it was bases on balls and hit batsmen that Union just basically gave golden opportunities to Montevallo, and they capitalized on them to win it 8-3. And here's the pitch. A high fly ball, and the left fielder running wildly, but instead it is the shortstop who takes the long run. It is going to get the runner over to second. Heads up base running by Huddleston to take second on that one. But also a tremendous run by Barrett to come away with that catch, because Elijah Ramsey was on his bicycle too, and sometimes when you got 2 guys going full speed like that, it can drop in between or you would have a collision, but he called it off. And so we have 2 down and a runner on second in scoring position now for Harbin, the first baseman. Logan walked his first time up, takes it high for a ball. And we'll check Poindexter's pitch count after this inning to see where he stands. He was throwing about 22 pitches an inning in the first 2. Here's the pitch. And there for a strike. A ball and a strike with 2 outs. And, of course, anytime you have a cleanup hitter up there, it is going to be a threat for power. But that wind coming into the players today has done an awful lot, and he couldn't get out of the way of that one. That was a strike. Ball and 2 strikes. It has not been one of these winds that is carrying balls out of the stadium, because it has been whipping in the face of the batters. And here is the pitch. Up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 out. And the runner down on second. This is the final home game of the regular season for Union. They'll be on the road for 4 games next week, and that one down in the dirt. 3 balls and 2 strikes, but the runner cannot advance. And it's a good job by Ben Smith to hold him off. They'll be at Arkansas Tech in a non-conference game on Tuesday, and then Friday and Saturday, crucial, at Huntsville against Alabama Huntsville, and he walks him. So they got runners on first and second. Bulldogs will be at UAH for a single game Friday night and then Saturday. Final doubleheader of the regular season, and that will be the thing that finally determines will Union have postseason opportunities, but they really need this one here. He looks the runner back at second and delivers. In there for a strike. He's been hitting the corners well. So far, Poindexter has walked 2 and struck out 1. And he's given up 3 hits. And here's the pitch. And that one is slicing foul almost to the parking lot behind Fesmeyer Field. No balls and 2 strikes and 2 out. He'd love to be able to get him on this pitch. And from the stretch, he pitches and struck him out. That's the second strikeout for Poindexter, and so he nails them on 1 hit and a walk, 2 men left on base, and nobody scored. So Union continues to hold the lead after 2.5, 2-1.
The award-winning BallGame Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios. Over 750,000 views in 2023. We're where you need to advertise. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and join over 4,500 subscribers watching local sports. The Jackson Rockabillys, Union University, Bethel, USJ, TCA, Jackson Christian, Sacred Heart, and Peabody. Multi-camera broadcasts, slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. The BallGame Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios. The premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.
The toboggan caps and the hoodies on this 20th day of April in Jackson, Tennessee, and they are necessary, trust me. As we go to the bottom half of the third inning, and back to the top of the order with Will Allen Smith, who had a single and walked his first time up. And that one's in there right down the middle for strike 1. Will Allen got things started on that 2-run spot that Union had, and he takes another strike. No balls and 2 strikes. And the young sophomore awaits the 0-2. Thought about going after that one, but held up. 1 ball and 2 strikes. He'll be followed by Chavies and Ross. And here comes the 1-2. In there. Looked at the called third strike for out number 1. And that is the 3rd strikeout of the afternoon for Logan Samuels. And here comes Carson Chavies, the right fielder. Carson had a sacrifice his first time up. That one way outside for a ball. So officially, he has not been to bat. And it was a solid sacrifice. Here's the pitch. He goes around on it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rather quiet crowd right now. And here is the 1-1. That's down low. 2-1. Each team with 3 hits, Union leading it 2-1. Samuels delivers. Got the inside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the wind of the pitch. That one is going deeply into, but it's unfortunately for Union fans, didn't go deep enough. The left fielder, Moore, found himself under it and snagged it for out number 2. And here comes Grant Ross, the first baseman. He had a single and an RBI in the first inning. That's up high for a ball. If he gets on, then we got Mitch Sisk, the third baseman, who is hitting cleanup here in the second game of the Twin Bill. That's in there for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. They're playing him deep in the infield. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. In fact, the second baseman is virtually on the outer edge of the outfield. It's almost like the fringe of a green at Augusta National. Here's the wind and the pitch. He went around on that hard. He was going for the downs on that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on here in the third. Union leading 2-1, trying to take the series 2-1. That one's going to be a high chop. Second baseman picks it, fires it to first, and we are done in the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base for the Bulldogs. We have completed 3 out of 7, and Union still leads it 2-1.
Can I get some help?
So happy. Oh.
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
When you hear our name, know that it comes with a promise to give back to the community that built us, a promise to provide a human touch in a world that is becoming more automated. Ever since we put our roots down in Jackson in 1996, we have aspired to be community-focused by supporting programs and organizations that are important to our city. At First Bank, it is our mission to be present in our community and to continue the belief that when you bank local, you get more. Member FDIC.
Top half of the fourth inning at Fessmeyer Field as Union continues to lead 2-1. It's the fourth inning of work for Steve Poindexter. I'm sorry. That's Sam Poindexter. Steve Poindexter was here for the Hall of Fame banquet last night. And at the plate, Brandon Moore, the left fielder. And there's a drive high into left field, but it's not going to carry, and he's going to have to run fast and dives to make the catch for out number 1. That one fooled him because it looked as though it might have some carry to it, and then all of a sudden Ramsey has to change direction and began, that ball just held up in the wind, and he managed to snag it for out number 1. That's one of those situations with the wind coming in from center field. You're not going to get the kind of carry that you often do if it's blowing out away from the hitter. And that one low and outside for a ball. This is Irizarry, the right fielder. And he hits a lazy fly ball, and you got three guys giving chase. And the second baseman goes over and nails it. Hardy for out number 2. They have gotten their wind sprints in trying to check these long fly balls, or those that check into foul territory. And that will bring up Peyton Stevenson, the second baseman. He's 0 for 1 today. And Poindexter delivers, and that one is low for a ball. And after that first inning, he has settled down and held the Falcons to 3 hits. And there's a drive, but that's going to be foul into the bullpen. Ball and a strike. This more looks, the way the skies have been today, this looks more like a lazy October day, and particularly with this chill, than it does one in April. But as I always remind people, it will get hot soon enough. And from what I'm looking in the forecast, perhaps next weekend we're looking at 87 here in the hub city, so I'm sure we'll begin to feel it then. And my friends that I saw down in Georgia last weekend told me, they said, look, we'll trade with you with what you've got right now anytime. Ball and a strike and 2 out with nobody on, and here's Poindexter's pitch. And that one is a lazy slice, and the second baseman under it and takes it for out number 3. So once again, 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. We've completed 3.5. We're halfway through this contest. It is Union 2, Montevallo 1.
Your life. Your home.
Your business. Your future.
Focusing on you, West Tennessee Bank strives to serve its clients in every season of life. With vast experience in personal and business banking, we take pride in guiding you through significant events. At West Tennessee Bank, we help you realize your dreams.
West Tennessee Bank is a division of Decatur County Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. West Tennessee Bank, focused on you.
Can I get some help?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
Logan Samuels back for his 4th inning of work. He's held the Bulldogs to 2 runs on 3 hits, but he trails in the game 2-1. And again, Union needing this one significantly to stay in the hunt for that number 8 slot in the conference tournament. That's the cut line. They're 2.5 games behind Shorter after the loss in the first game here. So they really have to have every single one of them down the stretch. This one and then the 3 next weekend, and that's a tall order to do that on the road against Alabama Huntsville. Here's Mitch Sisk, the third baseman, in the cleanup spot, right down the middle for a strike. And Samuels with that high kick delivers, and it's down low, 1-1. Sisk 0 for 1. He'll be followed by Hardy and Ramsey. And that one, powered foul. It crashed somewhere because I heard the thud. And here's the 1-2. And that one's a high chopper, and it goes off of the foot of the third baseman as he reached down to try to snag it. He's going to go for 2. They fire it in there, and he is out of there. Oh, my goodness. Well, he took the gamble that, frankly, probably most runners would have, because it looked as though that ball was just lurking very slowly down the left field line, but it was a great throw. And they got him just about a step and a half of the slide, and so it was an error, but you wanted to capitalize on it regardless of it, and he lost his footing down at second base, tried the slide, and he was tossed out. And that one's low for a ball. Hardy is 1 for 1, and he has an RBI. And that one out of play. Well, that's one of those that it took a great throw to be able to nail him at second, and they got every bit of it. And here goes Samuels, 1-1. And there, right down the middle, 1 ball and 2 strikes. He has struck out 3 Bulldogs this afternoon. And the pitch. It's a good fastball, but it was low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Samuels has thrown significantly fewer pitches than Poindexter. The wind and the 2-2. And he went around on it for strike 3. 4th strikeout now for Samuels. All the runs by both teams were scored in the first inning. And here is Elijah Ramsey, the left fielder. He is 0 for 1, struck out his first time up. And the left-hander would love to be able to put one down there in the gap. And it goes past the pitcher. It's not going to be stopped. That's going to give him an infield hit. There was no way that the second baseman was going to track that one down and turn around and have, unless it was a miracle throw. So give him a hit. 4th hit of the afternoon for Union. And here comes Davis, the center fielder. Colby 0 for 1. And with 2 out here, and with the lead, you might think that Ramsey may try to go. Goes around on it for strike 1. Not taking a huge lead down at first base. And here's the wind and the pitch, and he is going, but he fouled it off. No balls and 2 strikes, so having to take the long trot back down to first. So Elijah back down to first, and here comes the 0-2 from Samuels. And the pitch. And he's going to go for second, and that time he's going to get in there. The ball went astray, and it looks as though Stevenson he's all right. He took a little blow from the collision, but he's okay. He's back up on his feet. And everybody came in to check on him, but he's fine. So with a 1-2 count, Union with a man in scoring position, and Davis needing a clutch 2-out hit to give Union a little insurance. And the pitch. And he parks it into, it is a foul ball. It looked as though it might be dropping, and if it did, it would have brought in the 3rd run, but it began to bend foul. That's more what happens on a day like today in the direction that wind is going in. It tends to aid the balls going foul that are going down the left field line, and that's what happened there. So it's still 1 ball and 2 strikes, just another long strike. But you had the Bulldog bench was up thinking that that might be run number 3 coming in. Getting his lead down at second well, and here's the pitch. Up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. They haven't put the lights on here because it's really not dark enough for that. Here's the pitch. Oh, just missed him, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. So we got a payoff pitch coming with the runner on second, who will likely be moving with this next pitch. Here's the wind and the pitch, and that one's going to sail foul. Off the top of the Bulldog dugout. So we'll do another payoff pitch. A lot of excitement going on over in the women's softball game. Grace White is getting all of the viewers excited about what just happened, and that one is low for ball 4. He was down 1-2, but managed to walk out of it, and so Davis goes down to first. And that's going to bring up Ben Smith, the catcher. He's 0 for 1. Runners first and second with 2 out. Again, they need some clutch hitting, and they're going to go out and talk to Samuels. This is probably just going to be a mini summit to decide which way they're going to go, but now we've got all of the infielders coming in. Frankly, what they'll look at in this case is what to do if a ball goes into the outfield for a base hit, and you know, you look at situations as to whether you try to come home with it, and the basic thing, I'm sure, is to try to see if they can make sure everybody understands that if it's a base hit, to try to hold the runner on second to a single base. So here we go. As Smith checks in, 0 for 1, and right down the middle for strike 1. If he gets on, Dylan Barrett would be next, the shortstop. Samuels has thrown a lot more pitches in this inning than in his previous ones, and that one low for ball 1. Samuels had thrown 53 pitches coming into the inning. Looks at the runner back to second, and he fires. And that one is going to be a high fly ball. That is going to go back for extra bases. It may go all the way back to the wall. Not quite, but he's got 2 runs have scored, and he is going to town and giving the dance on second base. A clean stand-up double by Ben Smith. I wish he'd do the dance again so that we could just have an extra celebration out of it. Boy, don't you know he's happy about that, and he showed us that he is. So Union goes on top 4-1. And he got a great piece of that one as it went back. Couldn't carry all the way back to the wall, but still a stand-up 2-run double, and that's big for Union. They've needed a clutch hit like that with 2 outs, and they got it. So here's Dylan Barrett. He's 0 for 1 this afternoon, but he's got a runner in scoring position with 2 out. Another clutch hit would make it 5-1. Here's the pitch. On the inside corner for strike 1. We go back up to the top of the order with Will Allen Smith if Barrett gets on. He fires, and that one's in the inside corner again. No balls and 2 strikes, so Samuels is recovering very quickly. On an 0-2 pitch, the runner may be moving, and a slow tap foul. But Union putting 2 more across the board on that double by Ben Smith. And he did the Ben Smith shuffle after he got to second. The wind and the pitch. Just missed that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Union 4 runs on 5 hits. And the pitch. And that one smashed foul back to the screen. And the Union fans who have stuck around here for the second game have so far been treated to some good entertainment here as the Bulldogs are on top by 3. And deciding to step out of the box is Barrett. They have bunched these 5 hits quite well. They've been the benefit of only 1 walk in this game, but they also had an error. So this is a big 1-2 pitch for Samuels. He fell off the mound. Oh, my goodness. And that does happen, and the runner is going. That's a balk. So the runner goes to third. It's one of those things that happens sometimes, and probably nobody feels worse about that than Samuels, but he just completely fell off the mound before he had his delivery, and it was a balk. So now the runner is 90 feet away. A ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the pitch. Down in the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the big thing about getting him down to third, the ball gets away from the catcher. He's got at least a fair slice to get it, to trot it home. And the pitch. And that one is going to be a 2-hopper to the second baseman who tosses on to the pitcher. Actually, the first baseman who tossed on to the pitcher, and they get out of it. But Union picked up 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors, and they left a man on third. So we have completed 4 of our 7-inning nightcap, and it is Union on top 4-1.
The award-winning BallGame Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios. Over 750,000 views in 2023. We're where you need to advertise. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and join over 4,500 subscribers watching local sports. The Jackson Rockabillys, Union University, Bethel, USJ, TCA, Jackson Christian, Sacred Heart, and Peabody. Multi-camera broadcasts, slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. The BallGame Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios. The premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.
Top of the 5th. And back for another inning on the mound is Sam Poindexter. And so far, Sam has held Montevallo to 3 hits. He has walked 2 and struck out 2. And he fires. And that one is going into left field for a base hit for Kirk. And so the catcher gets on right off the bat here with the 4th hit of the game for Montevallo. And that is going to take us back up to the top of the order with Connor Croson, the 3rd baseman, who is 0 for 2 here in the nightcap. I don't know why we call it the nightcap when it is a day game. But and there is a long drive, but no steps necessary for the left fielder Ramsey as he gets under it for out number 1. He gave it a ride, but Ramsey was in the right position and didn't even have to move. So 1 down with 1 on first. And this is Liddy, the center fielder. He is 0 for 2 today. And the left-hander delivers down low for ball one.
Now batting the center fielder number 2, Evan Liddy.
He'll be followed by the shortstop Huddleston, but Union playing also at double play depth. And he goes to first. That's the first time he's made a move toward first. Hasn't had to do it too often, primarily because of the fact that he's held them to 4 hits. So he has not allowed a lot of base runners. Frankly, only 6 base runners have been on the paths. And here's the pitch. And that one's off the glove of the third baseman. That one just is one of those that just absolutely fools you. And he tried to leap high, and it went off his glove. It was a hard-hit ball. So they are making a threat now with runners on first and second and 1 out. And here comes Huddleston, the shortstop. He is 2 for 2 and has scored a run, so he is indeed dangerous. And he steps off the rubber and tosses it to second. Nobody was a threat to go at that point. But this Montevallo team is a threat to go at any time, and they will try a double steal if at all possible. He looks the runner back at second and delivers. And there's one that is going, and the left fielder is right down there under it, and nobody can advance. So Ramsey has snagged 2 of them. And we go to the first baseman in the cleanup spot, Logan Harbin. And Logan has walked twice in this game. That's the only 2 walks that Poindexter has given up. He does not want that to happen here to load up the bases. Looking back to second again, and the pitch. Right down in there for strike 1 call. Each team with 5 hits, 1 error by Montevallo, and Union leads it 4-1. This is a significant batter for Poindexter to nail here. And that one, good move behind the plate for Smith. That 2-run double that Smith had, first hit of the year, and what a time for it. 2-out clutch stand-up double. Here's the pitch. And that's high, 2 balls and 1 strike. They really don't want to load the bases at this point. Leak has an RBI in the game today, and here goes the 2-1. And that's another high fly ball, and right underneath it and taking it is the second baseman, just a few steps beyond the infield for out number 3. So it was no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Good job of clutch pitching by Sam Poindexter. So we have completed 5. We actually have completed 4.5 now, and it is Union 4, Montevallo 1.
Are you looking for a Christian college or are starting the college search process? I want to take a second to tell you about my school, Union University in Jackson, Tennessee. Union is a private 4-year university known for its rigorous academics, Christ-centered community, and the success of its graduates. My favorite part about Union is the faculty. The professors here are so intentional about helping students grow not only academically, but also spiritually. You should check out Union for yourself. Come for a visit. I know you'll love it. At Union University, you'll be transformed.
coming in relief for Logan Samuels is Dawson Hargrove for Montevallo. He's 6'3". He's from Spring Hill, Tennessee, and he's a transfer to Montevallo from Southwest Tennessee Community College. So he comes in trailing 4-1.
Now on the mound for the Falcons, number 32, Dawson Hargrove.
And here's Will Allen Smith. He's 1 for 2. He has scored a run and struck out.
Now at the plate for the Bulldogs, the DH number 7, Will Allen Smith.
And the wind of the pitch. And there's a high drive. It's going deep. But the left fielder is under it, snags it one-handed. Good job on the run by Moore for out number 1. He gave that ball a ride. And you had both the left and center fielder chasing after it, but Moore managed to come down with it for out number 1. And here comes Chavies. He is 0 for 1. He had a sacrifice earlier in the game. This guy is a hard-throwing right-hander. His job is to try to keep Union right where it is and give his team an opportunity to try a rally in the final 2 innings. That was just outside a ball and a strike. And Grant Ross will be next. And that one's going to be foul. First base coach could not snag it. He tried to spear it, but it was just beyond him. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody on for Union. Union scored 2 runs in the first and 2 in the fourth. Montevallo's only run came in the first inning. That was just a little bit low and outside, so we're at 2-2. It's been a pleasant Saturday afternoon, even though the sun departed us before the first game ended. And that one gets away from the catcher, but nobody on, so no damage. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And here's the pitch. Up high, and so he walks him. Chavies gets on with a walk. That is the second walk given up to Union this afternoon. And here comes Grant Ross. 1 for 2 with an RBI. He scored a run as well. And he has an opportunity to up the ante with a runner on first. And here's the pitch. Boy, Hargrove has a lot of power. No balls and a strike. Samuels threw 62 pitches while he was in the game. And that one hits the corner. No balls and 2 strikes. Poindexter has thrown 84 pitches for Union. The wind and the 0-2 coming. Up high, and that's going to send the runner to second. And that one just got away from him. So Grant now has a runner in scoring position to try to bring in with 1 out. And Chavies very well may be moving with this pitch. Outside, ball 2. They've taken the double play option off unless it is a fly ball with him playing off the bag. But let's see if Chavies decides he's going to try to make a run for third, and they are looking very closely at him, and that one's going to be a ground ball to first. They're going to fire it to the pitcher for out number 2, but Chavies moves over to third. It's the same thing as a sacrifice. So now it is up to Mitch Sisk, who is 0 for 2 this afternoon. So the third baseman, and let's look and see how the infield is going to be positioned. He's got a good gap that is right up the middle if he could get a hard liner there. The wind and the pitch. And that one is going to, no, what a play by the second baseman as he fires on to first. Excellent job by Stevenson. If he hadn't made the dive, that would have brought in run number 5 for Union, but a terrific play in the infield. It is no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We've completed 5 of 7, and Union leads it 4-1.
Dynamics Physical Therapy, your elite provider in sports medicine and performance. Now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
Legends never die, but your AC unit might. Routine maintenance and repair by McCoy's Heating and Air now will keep your system running at full capacity and potentially avoid costlier repairs and downtime when you need your AC the most. Our York certified and trained technicians are the best in the game. Go home to comfort with spring maintenance from McCoy's Heating and Air.
As we mentioned earlier, it was a wonderful opportunity last night to rekindle relationships with so many former Union athletes that were inducted into the Union Sports Hall of Fame, and particularly the teammates of Galen Moore, the former basketball star, who came back to support him as he was inducted in. It was a nostalgic night indeed. Checking in now, it's Landon Leak, the designated hitter. 6th inning of work now for, and that one's outside for a ball for Poindexter, who has done a good job of scattering 5 hits this afternoon. And the pitch up high, 2 balls and no strikes. And here comes the 2-0. High fly ball to medium center field, and he takes about 7 steps over and nails it for out number 1. Tell you, these outfielders have had enough of their sprints this afternoon to keep up with these fly balls. And here is Moore, the left fielder. He is 0 for 2 this afternoon. Right down in there for strike 1. Irizarry, the right fielder, will be next. If he can get them out here and give them 1 more inning, then Union will take the series 2-1 and gain a split of this doubleheader. And it is crucial for the Bulldogs for their postseason hopes. Here's the wind and the 1-1. He went around on it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. taking his time. And he delivers the 1-2. And that one is going to drop in for a bloop single into short center field. Just drove it over the infield and just out of the range of the center fielder Davis. So they've got a man on with one out. And here's Irizarry, 0 for 2 this afternoon. He struck out once. Stevenson would be next. And here comes the pitch to Daniel. That was a slow curve. It nailed the corner. No balls and a strike. Here's the wind. And he goes to first. Don't think he was a threat to go at this stage of the game, but you never know because this guy's got plenty of speed down there at first. And he's taking a long look at him, and there's a high. That's going to stay in play, it looks like. He got it! Let me tell you what, Grant Ross nearly did a tumble into the dugout of Montevallo, but hung on to that one, and that is a big second out. Cannot tell you how huge that is. And here's Peyton Stevenson, 0 for 2 this afternoon, the second baseman. But now 2 out here in the 6th. And he goes to first again. Close play, but back in there and doing just enough to need to have all detergent to clean that uniform is Moore. And here's the pitch. He went around on that one. He was looking at left center field, but it was nothing but air. No balls and a strike with 2 out, man on first. Union trying to hang on to its 3-run lead. Poindexter looking at first a long time. That one, good job of stopping that one by Ben Smith. 1-1. And again, taking a lead down at first. And he goes back to first, gets back in there. Moore has had to go into the dirt about as much as the catchers are trying to stop low balls. The wind and the pitch. And that one is sliced foul. And that's going almost all the way to the fence of the parking lot over at the field house that's over behind us. Ball and 2 strikes. This is a big pitch coming here for Poindexter. And he delivers. Runner thought about going but did not. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Once again, he's got the sign he wants. And he goes to first. And again, he's just keeping the runner honest down there. And Moore has been up and down from the clay over there. And here we go with the 2-2 with 2 out. And the pitch is going to get away from the catcher. That one just went wide, so he has now moved into scoring position, and we have a full count with 2 out. So that gets him into scoring position for Stevenson. And time called. Okay, they're back in place. Another big payoff pitch coming. and it's high. So they have runners on first and second with 2 outs. And trudging to the plate now is Evan Kirk. He is 1 for 2 this afternoon. A base hit right here would bring in probably at least 1 run. Right down in there for the strike. Poindexter has done a good job of weaving his way out of jams, particularly since the first inning when he gave up the only run to Montevallo. And Union has given him 4 runs of support. And that one's low. Ball and a strike. If Kirk gets on, we're back to the top of the order with Croson. He looks the runner at second, and here comes the 1-1. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. And he is over the 100 pitch mark this afternoon. This may be the hitter that he has to get in order to stay in the game. Hit the corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Montevallo 1-6-1, Union 4-5-0, and here is another big 2-2 pitch. He fires up high, 3 balls and 2 strikes, so he's gone full. And this is where this Montevallo team just continues to claw away, trying to claw their way back in from a deficit like this. He looks the runner again at second and fires. It is low for ball 4. So they are jammed, and we are going back up to the top of the order with Croson. He's 0 for 3 today, and they are going to come out, and this could probably be it for Poindexter. He's given a good outing today. He's allowed 6 hits. He has walked 4 and struck out 2, and he's been solid in the clutch getting out of these jams this afternoon. He hasn't had any major jams until now where they've got the bases loaded with 2 out. And he is going to stay in. So that's a lot of confidence in this young man to keep him in here in this situation. Croson hasn't had a hit, but if he delivers here, we could at least see a 4-3 game. Here's the pitch. High for a ball. No place to put him. And remember, this is a 7-inning game. He went around on that one. Strike 1. Ball and a strike. So if you're a Union team, you want to get out of this one and then try to get yourself some insurance in the 6th inning and then hold them out in the 7th. Up high, 2 balls and a strike. And you wonder if Poindexter's getting just a little bit tired. 107 pitches he's thrown now. Here it goes. There's a drive. That is going to be foul. And that was one of those that raised the blood pressure of Union fans across the board as well as Montevallo fans because he got a good piece of that one, but it went foul beyond the bullpen. So it's now 2-2. And again, somebody at every base. The wind and the 2-2. Went around on him and struck him out for out number 3. What a pitch. And you can see how happy Poindexter is to get him out. We have completed 5, and the score with 3 men left on base, the score is still Union 4 and Montevallo 1.
award-winning BallGame Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios. Over 750,000 views in 2023. We're where you need to advertise. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and join over 4,500 subscribers watching local sports. The Jackson Rockabillys, Union University, Bethel, USJ, TCA, Jackson Christian, Sacred Heart, and Peabody. Multi-camera broadcasts, slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. The BallGame Blitz Sports Network from Worthy Road Studios, the premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.
Well, the new pitcher for Montevallo is senior Chris Foster. He is 6'2", 225 pounds, and he is from Humboldt, Texas, and he transferred into Montevallo from Green River Community College. And during his warm-up tosses, Hargrove, who had a good inning of relief, and apparently he was having some kind of a shoulder problem, and the trainer came out for the Falcons and took a look at him and decided that, well, he needed to come out. So Foster gets the call. With Union leading 4-1, that was a clutch bit of pitching at the end of the sixth. That might be all that we see of Poindexter, because he is right at 110 pitches in the game, but that was a clutch strikeout, and that was his third strikeout of the afternoon, but what a time for it on a 2-2 pitch with the bases loaded. And we have enjoyed having you with us all across the board this afternoon here at Fesmeyer Field and on uuathletics.com. And it has been a wonderful season here. And we are hearing behind us, they're having Senior Day festivities for the Union women's softball team. We had ours between games here. And here's Alec Hardy to open up the sixth. He went around on that one big time. As our old friend Dizzy Dean used to say, he naturally had a ripple at that one. And here comes the 0-1 pitch from Foster. And hits the corner. No balls and 2 strikes. Hardy will be followed by Elijah Ramsey and by Colby Davis. And there's the pitch. High fly ball. Center fielder is going to come in now. He's drifting back a bit under it and takes it for out number 1. So Liddy with the catch, and that brings up Ramsey, who is 1 for 2 this afternoon. He scored a run. And he's had a stolen base. Alec Hardy also had a stolen base. He's had an RBI as well. So Ramsey hitting left-handed against the right-handed pitching of Chris Foster. And that one dipped low for ball 1. No ifs, ands, or buts. Foster's job is to hold it right where it is and give Montevallo an opportunity to try to rally in the top half of the 7th. And that one is going to the first baseman. He's going to take it himself, trot over, and step on the bag for out number 2. So 2 quick outs for Union. And Colby Davis steps in. Colby has walked once. And he also had a sacrifice, so he is officially only 0 for 1, but he scored a run when he walked. And that pitch right down the middle for a strike 1. We've been at it a little bit more than an hour and a half in this second game. Our first game took about 2 minutes and 47 seconds. 2 hours and 47 minutes. You can tell when we get to a doubleheader that I'm getting my timing all off. A ball and a strike to Davis. Well, don't you know Ben Smith would like to get another at bat outside? 2 balls and a strike. Ben with that clutch 2-run stand-up double that extended this lead to 4-1 back in the 4th inning. And here's your pitch. High foul that's way out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 out and nobody on. So Colby awaits the 2-2 and slices that one back foul. So we'll rewind the tape and try another 2-2 pitch. The outfield is playing shallow. The wind and the pitch. And he slices that one in just beyond the infield, and it drops in for a base hit. And so that is going to give Ben Smith another opportunity. That's the 6th hit of the afternoon for the Bulldogs. Will Allen Smith, Ross, Hardy, Ramsey, Davis, and Ben Smith all with hits. Ben's was a biggie, though, that 2-run double, because it gave Union a little more of a cushion. And they love to add to that right here. Throw to first, he's back easily. He's taking his time there on the mound. And the pitch. And he's going to try to get in there at second. He's in there, and he's out. Just managed to get him above the tag, so Ben does not get a chance to finish the at-bat. So for the Bulldogs, it was no runs on 1 hit, their 6th of the afternoon, and no errors, and no one left on base. So we go to the 7th. We got a Hold'em Bulldogs with the score Union 4, Montevallo 1.
Can I get some help?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
When you hear our name, know that it comes with a promise to give back to the community that built us, a promise to provide a human touch in a world that is becoming more automated. Ever since we put our roots down in Jackson in 1996, we have aspired to be community-focused by supporting programs and organizations that are important to our city. At First Bank, it is our mission to be present in our community and to continue the belief that when you bank local, you get more. Member FDIC.
Sam Poindexter back out for the 7th inning and trying to make it a complete game. That clutch strikeout he had at the end of the 6th was huge because it was with the bases loaded, and it looked as though that Montevallo might be making one of their patented rallies, but snuffed out the threat. And we're trying to look here and see if we've had any update on Shorter, which is the number 8 team, or West Alabama. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shorter 13-14 in the conference. If Union wins this one, they are 11-16, so they would be 2 games out, tied with West Alabama for the 9th spot. And they try the bunt, and it is a good one. And let's see, is it going to be? Yeah, he's out. How about that? Now, you don't see that happen too often, and he is frustrated down there at first base. But he ran over the ball as he was headed down to first base, and he's not happy about it. But the umpire was right on top of it. So a big play, and so that's out number 1. 2 more to go, but they're coming out, and it looks like that might be all for Poindexter. They're not going to let him go for the complete game. They're calling for the bullpen. But let's take a look at the book on him. He has gone 6 1/3 innings. He's getting a lot of congratulations from his teammates. Poindexter 6 1/3 innings, and I'm trying to call up his totals here. He's walked 4, struck out 3, given up only 1 run. It was earned. And a big, big outing for him as he scattered 6 hits this afternoon and very nearly had a complete game. We've got a call to the bullpen. We'll take a break and come back and tell you about the new pitcher. And he gets a big hand as we go out.
Your life. Your home.
Your business. Your future.
Focusing on you, West Tennessee Bank strives to serve its clients in every season of life. With vast experience in personal and business banking, we take pride in guiding you through significant events. At West Tennessee Bank, we help you realize your dreams.
West Tennessee Bank is a division of Decatur County Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. West Tennessee Bank, focused on you.
Can I get some help?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
We got a senior who's going to try to save it for a senior. And in to pitch for the Bulldogs, Jamal Allen, the 6'5" senior from Birmingham, went to Ramsey High School, and we saw him and his family, along with the other seniors. That included Sam Poindexter being honored on Senior Day here at Union. The lights have been turned on here at Festmeyer Field because even though we're about 2 hours away from sunset, there's just enough darkness out here that it helps a tad, at least with that. But he comes in with nobody on and 1 out, and a victory here would give Union the series 2-1, but more importantly, keep them in the race for the number 8 slot in the Gulf South Conference tournament. A little bit high, and he ducks out of the way for a ball. This could be the biggest save of the season for Allen, and that one is grounded, and it is a fair ball. Long throw to first, and he got him. Outstanding job by Mitch Sisk, staying very patient and got the trajectory right. It is out number 2 as they nailed Huddleston, so it is Harbin, the last hope for Montevallo here in our 7-inning second game of the afternoon. Harbin has walked twice. He is 0 for 1. And this is a big one for Jamal Allen. Good fastball, but it's low. 1 ball and no strikes. Jamal just looks like a big league pitcher up here with that lanky body of his. And that one inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Each team with 6 hits. But Union managed to do it when they counted, and a big hit was Ben Smith's 2-run stand-up double. That's on the inside corner for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike. So senior trying to save it for a senior on senior day. The pitch, he went around on it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And this could be game, set, and match if he gets it in there. The wind. The pitch. Just missed outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. If Harbin gets on, the designated hitter Leak would be up. Here comes the 3-2. And it's going again. A 2-hopper to the third baseman. Fires onto first. Game, set, and match. Bulldogs win it 4-1. And they are piling onto the field to congratulate not only Jamal Allen for the save, but as well a tremendous starting pitching performance by Steve Poindexter, going 6 1/3 innings as he scattered 6 hits and struck out 3, and he is going to be our player of the game unquestionably, because Steve just was solid, and particularly with that strikeout that he got with 2 out in the 6th inning and the bases loaded was just huge for Union. And then came out of the game with 1 out, managed to get 1 out in the top half of the 7th, and they brought in Jamal Allen in for the save, which he did get. So Poindexter was your winning pitcher. Your losing pitcher was Logan Samuels for Montevallo. And looking again, you had 6 different Bulldogs who had a hit in the game. Will Allen Smith, Grant Ross, Alec Hardy, Elijah Ramsey, and our good friend Davis, as well as Ben Smith with his first hit of the season, a 2-run double, stand-up double that extended the lead from 2-1 to 4-1 back in the 4th inning, and that was a huge clutch hit for him because it had happened with 2 out. For Montevallo, 2 hits for Huddleston, and he was their leader today out of their 6 hits. Also hits for Liddy, Leak, Moore, and Kirk. But Union gets the split of the doubleheader and also wins the series 2-1, but more importantly, still in the hunt for, and this is the big part of it, still in the hunt for the number 8 slot in the Gulf South Conference tournament. They are 2 games behind Shorter, which is 13-16. That victory ties Union with West Alabama at 11-16. So the Bulldogs will be headed next. They have a Tuesday game at Arkansas Tech that's a non-conference game, and then the big one, and that is going to be in Huntsville next Friday and Saturday. They have a Friday night game against Alabama Huntsville, and then they have a doubleheader on Saturday afternoon. They really need all 3 of them. It's mathematically possible that they could get in if they win 2 of them, but they really need all 3. But this one was a big one in the final regular season home game as they defeat Montevallo 4-1 after dropping the opener 8-3 in a clutch pitching performance and certainly some clutch hitting. So on this senior day, it ends up on a good note for Bulldog fans. We thank all of you from Montevallo who might have been looking in today on our telecast. And it's been a great season here from Fessmeyer Field, and thank you all for joining us for Union University Baseball. I'm Steve Beverly, and we'll tell you again who the crew is that has made this possible. The executive producer of Worthy Road Studios is Paul Schultze, and of course the producer for UUathletics.com is Stephen Aldridge. And our crew today, Christopher Reasons, Billy Boland II, and Eric Inman. Again, I'm Steve Beverly, and until we're with you next time, so long from the great hub city of West Tennessee.
Dynamics Physical Therapy, your elite provider in sports medicine and performance. Now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
Legends never die, but your AC unit might. Routine maintenance and repair by McCoy's Heating and Air now will keep your system running at full capacity and potentially avoid costlier repairs and downtime when you need your AC the most. Our York certified and trained technicians are the best in the game. Go home to comfort with spring maintenance from McCoy's Heating and Air.